Kick-Ass was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Everything about this movie makes me want to commit suicide.
No, I'm just kidding. For the first episode of Why Love, I think the first movie I should talk about and recommend you guys has to be my all-time favorite movie of all time. Wow, that was fucked up. Anyways, it's Kick-Ass, the 2010 movie directed by Matthew Vaughn and stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Also Nicolas Cage. So why is this movie about everyday superheroes and crazy insane amounts of violence my favorite movie of all time? Well, it's because I don't think I've ever seen a movie that has every single thing I love about film in one little tight package. It's perfect to me. I'm not only a fan of the movies, but I'm also a huge fan of the comic books they're based off of. The comic books were written by Mark Millar and drawn by John Romita Jr. You can tell that Mark Millar's vision and Matthew Vaughn's direction really elevated the film into perfection. If it was made by any other people, then the movie wouldn't have turned out as good as it did. This has been proven by its sequel, Kick-Ass 2. Now, I do love that movie, but even I could tell as I was watching that it's just not the same without Matthew Vaughn. This film is about a nerdy kid named Dave who's a huge comic book fan, and one day asks, how come there aren't any real superheroes? His friends blow off the idea of his question, but this still kind of makes him wonder, how come nobody just puts on a costume and fights crime in real life? So he decides to do just that, but quickly learns that there are many dangers ahead. There has been movies like Kick-Ass before, where it's about normal people going out and fighting crime, like Defender and Super. The difference between those movies and Kick-Ass is that Kick-Ass has crazy amounts of ambition and variety. Defender and Super are great films, but they mainly stay grounded in their tone. Kick-Ass is kind of like Superbad, where the first half is really realistic, and you can really put yourself in that character's shoes, but the second half is just basically fantasy. Some critics and fans that prefer the comic book over the movie didn't like this, but for me it makes the movie more fun. Now, I enjoy my miserable movies where everything goes wrong, but sometimes I just like to sit down and enjoy a movie that has fun with itself. Not every movie has to be The Dark Knight. Now, with a great director and a fun tone, how are the performances in the movie? Well, they're all amazing. You can tell that everyone had so much fun making this movie. Aaron Taylor Johnson does a great job selling the nerdy, relatable guy. Nicolas Cage does an amazing performance, really selling the sadness and insanity that his character has. And Mark Strong as the lead villain does a really good job. He is pretty intimidating and he does some pretty fucked up shit in the movie. But the one that steals the show out of everyone else has to be Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl. She's funny, scary, and oh my gosh, the action scenes that she's in are the best in the entire film. That's another thing to love about the movie. There's so much style and love put into these action scenes. It really makes the movie stand out. Now, there's been other movies like The Raid 2 that have perfect action scenes, but I think Kick-Ass is on that same level. That's right, I think Kick-Ass's action scenes are on the same level of Raid 2's. The Raid 2 has better choreography, but for me, Kick-Ass 2 has a better camera work. Now, I can talk about why I love Kick-Ass and why it's my favorite movie of all time for hours and hours, but this is a quick little recommendation series. So I just say, rent it, pick it up, buy it, whatever, and maybe you'll see why I think it's my all-time favorite movie of all time. Fuck, I did it again! Well, thank you for watching the first episode of Why I Love ... Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more videos in this series. Also, check out some of the films that I've made on this channel, and recommend me some of the films that you love. Thanks again for checking out this video, and keep watching.